Welcome in, everybody, to the London Hellenic Club. I'm Joey Langdon. This is Alex Allan. And Alex, beautiful day for soccer, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great day for a great match here for FC London against the ProStars.
And ProStars, as we mentioned before coming live, ProStars, this is a pretty big game for them when it comes to how their season's going to end up.
Yeah, it is. They're right now sitting in 7th place, and they have around 7 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. And it would be huge for them if they do get into a 6th place position, because that means that they will be accepted into the playoffs, I believe.
Yep, top 6 make the playoffs, top 2 get a bye, then the 4 others play in the play-in round. FC London, they're no strangers to the playoffs, but they might have a misconnection this year. Tough season for them, rebuilding. A lot of their roster overhaul happening this season. So a win against ProStars here would be really nice to get these young guys some good experience. One of the youngest FC London teams I can remember.
Yeah, the team is coming off of a 2-2 tie against Derby FC, and they have 2 wins right now, 8 losses, and 3 ties. And they kind of find themselves in 21st place out of the 22 teams. So this would be huge for them to get a win, because it definitely looked like it's a rebuilding stage for them.
As we mentioned, a pretty young team here for FC London, but has to start somewhere, and a win over ProStars, a hot ProStars team coming off a pretty good season so far. Might be the turning point in a lot of these players' careers. ProStars in white, FC London in the gray or silver, whatever you want to call it. Trying to move the ball up on the far side. We're here at the Hellenic Club. FC London played at a couple different stadiums this season.
Ooh.
So that's a hard foul on the far side. And you've played for a couple different teams, Alex. When you're moving around a bunch, does that change how you come together as a team when you don't really have a stable home ground?
It does, but it's definitely going down to chemistry as well within here these matches. If you know how to position yourself in any sort of match, it's going down just onto that chemistry side. If you know how to play with your team, it doesn't matter what pitch you're on.
ProStars trying to hem them in hard here. The ProStars like to play a pretty aggressive style of soccer, but FC London's been maintaining possession so far. They like to play out of the defense and not afraid to wait for their spots. They bring it up now. Back to defense. Aramar sends it over. Carter on the far side. Carter with it again. Looking for some options here. Again, they're not afraid to play patiently. Slapinski wandering from his net a little bit. And that's sent long to the far side. And FC London still attacking hard, but this one might go the other way. No one really knew where that ball was. Now ProStars come out with it, and that one's a hard challenge there. It looked like it was Cam. Sends it along. DeFeo. DeFeo's got wheels. He's going to send it along, though. FC London calling for an offside. None forthcoming. And they were really not happy with that call. It looked pretty offside, but none came, and now they'll send it along.
Looks like the linesman actually did put his flag up for that.
Ref just letting the play go. ProStars on the far side. Carter been pretty good defensive output as Cam takes another foul. Cam's got to be careful. The ref's not really happy with him right now. He's early in this game. He's been on him. That goes out of play there. Nolim gonna throw it in. FC London playing pretty physical so far. Oh, turnover. FC London got to clean it up. Down low, playing physical. All over him was Nunes.
ProStars definitely saw an advantage there of pressing both players at the same time to the defense line, seeing if they can have that advantage to try and get reach to the net, but looks like it just rolls out here to the throw-in.
ProStars have been pretty consistent so far with this attack. Sent on net. Slapinski gathers it up. And now FC London can breathe a little bit. On the far side, Anderson. Sorry, Baquayo. Plays it back to Carter. Baquayo again. Back to defense. Now Baquayo again. Looking long. He's going to keep it himself now. He's going to send it vertically. Or horizontally, I should say. Couldn't really handle it. Was Camille. Now sent the far side. Amari had 2 towers on him. And then will be sent out of play. DeFeo takes the quick throw. Zeus got blocked. Zeus is able to come back with it. A little bit of improv. Getting creative with it. Here comes Amari. Amari out front. Shot. Scores! Early goal for ProStars. Spilled out in front. Made no mistake. And it's 1-0. Looked like it was Paradis that got a foot on it.
That was actually strong work from Amari, actually pushing out over to the defense line there from FC London, sneaking his way into the back, and instead of actually attempting that shot, he thought right away, let's go to the top of the box, send that up there, and it was a better chance for ProStars to get that ball in the back of the net.
ProStars, a really disciplined team. No one was really thinking hero ball there. It was all for the team. And that's why they're in 7th right now, and that's why they're looking for a win today to go to 6th. Send long, maybe something here. That's recovered nicely by Maloney. ProStars putting in Maloney for only the 2nd time this year, I believe. They usually like to go with Dante Ferraro or Aaron Peters, but Maloney getting some playing time out here against a struggling FC London team. Here's a chance here out front. Great save by Slapinski. Still trouble, and Slapinski makes another nice play to clear it out there. Slapinski in his blue shirt being one of the better defenders for FC London so far. On the near side, Baramar plays it back.
Parody is definitely a threat here to FC London in that sort of CDM role that he's playing. He likes to cross. You can see he is switching the field. He is holding that ground there in the middle for them.
Another chance for ProStars here. Taking a shot, good block. And now FC London on the counterattack. This could be something, a little bit of a long pass, slowing it down a little bit, but they're still pressing. Barnes sends it long. Still playing within themselves though. And now they're in some trouble, and a turnover, and another turnover. A little bit of midfield chaos comes out in FC London's favor here. They're able to settle it down a little bit in the midfield. On the far side, FC London looking to try and get their shape back, down 1-0 early. Send long on the far side.
Great ball.
They're still pressing here. Baker into the box. Not enough friendly shirts there. Now ProStars is going to look to come up with it the other way. FC London, they're not really being as forthcoming with the pressing as they would like to be.
Yeah, they definitely might be holding back a bit more, just trying to feel how ProStars is playing, maybe see if they have any gaps in their playing, and then maybe they might try to slowly pressure here in the second half.
Baramar sends it over to Fonseca. Fonseca takes a look, tried to get it to Camille, and it's turned over, and now it's an odd man rush the other way. Amari gets it over to DeFeo. Out front, picked off. Now maybe a counterattack the other way. And that's turned over without much of a fight. And FC London's defense has put themselves into the hex zone early. Really not sure how to deal with this ProStars offense as the fans are still filing in here.
Good defend.
Could be something on the far side. Going for a run here, Barnes. He will not win that race though. Good defensive play there by Gallo. Back to the goalie. As fans still file in here. The in-house scoreboard isn't actually updating, so I don't know how many of these people know that ProStars is up 1-0 right now. Into the box, could be 2-0 here. Vacant pass. Hard foul, looks like the referee's gonna play advantage. Into the box, Slapinski gets in there, punched it away, another shot, good defensive play. I think that was Barnes, or Carter, I mean, clearing that off the line.
That was great saves from Slapinski there. The positioning and expecting that cross coming in was the great move from him of getting that little bit of a hand on, reaching it out. Even though there was a second shot coming in, he still reacted fast.
The corner goes short. Played into the box, picked off. Trying to start some sort of counter. ProStars now has to cycle back. Here comes FC London. Dispossessed is Cam. ProStars have been all over him. Far side. This turnover. FC London maybe. Nothing doing so far for London offensively, and visibly frustrated is Angel Camilli.
Come back.
ProStars been humming them in now. Amari. Back over Amari and DeFeo playing with it. DeFeo gonna send it long. Amari going for a run, but Slapinski is there to clean that up and send it back going the other way. Camilli tried to get it over. He'll get it right back. We're still, I mean, we like to say both teams are still filling each other out, and that is true, but ProStars, in the feeling out portion, took a 1-0 lead, and London's playing from behind. ProStars FC, based out of Brampton, looking to get a win tonight, get them closer to the playoffs. As FC London has had a turbulent and tumultuous League One Ontario season. A lot of turnover in the roster, but looking to try and get some positive momentum to rebuild for next season. Carter puts it in. Abequayo. Cheeky little ball, but can't get a shot off. The ProStars defense has been very, very good today. Abequayo slides in, can't dispossess. And a hard tackle along the wall. 12 minutes into the game. What have you seen from this London team so far?
They're definitely holding back a bit more, and they're not trying to pressure very high into games, and that definitely might be just because they're trying to feel out ProStars. It is a bit of a wishy-washy sort of moment to see how things are starting out, especially if it's like if they're sitting here in 21st place, it's a little bit of an awkward spot for them to be like, all right, like let's just pressure the team right away at the start. Definitely seeing the chemistry and how it's going on right now, they might be trying to figure out how they can organize it around. Oh.
Hard shot into the box. Giveaway. Could be a big chance here for ProStars on the far side. Amari. Cross. The point of the box. Back outside. DeFeo. DeFeo, he likes to shoot. He's going to pass it off. Amari finds DeFeo. DeFeo into the box. Goes long, but it goes off a London player, and that'll go for a corner.
It was well defending from Cam in that back corner there. Getting the chest at least on it, covering his player very well. That is a huge thing here that FC London is doing, is defending their players very well and strategically. But the pressuring point right now is a bit of their struggle.
Zeus is over there. No one's over there with him, so he's going to send this into the box. Actually, Amari coming over. He will send it into the box. On net, scores! Great play there. I think that was Uday Aurora getting his head on it. And ProStars takes an early 2-0 lead.
It was a great crossover to the top of the box, and Slapinski, it might have been a bit of a wrong judgment call there, running out, seeing if he could have got a hand on that. Kind of gets tumbled in with all the players there, and with a header like that, it's a bit of a struggle to try and recover from that.
So it's 2-0 ProStars. We are 15 minutes into the game, and London is spiraling. They need to get some positive momentum in a hurry, or this is going to get away from them. Back to Bauer-Mar. Over to Carter. Carter. That was Cuello sending him in. Camille.
ProStars FC goals.
Cuello.
30. Chevalier Nolan.
Trying to walk it himself. Tried the neat little pass over to Barnes, but it got through him. 2-0 ProStars here. That one's sent long. Slapinski coming out for it. Slapinski. Oh, that spills out a little bit. This could be trouble. And a good play there by the London defense to fix that mistake. Slapinski has been pretty fast and loose so far with these balls. On the far side, Barnes. Trying to find the middle. Fonseca, shot, save! Good stop there. Jared Maloney, only his second League One Ontario game, called into action.
What a great play that was, actually, running down the field there from Barnes and then sneaking around, seeing Fonseca to sneak it up. And right away, those are those one touches, those one fast pass that you want to get. And that's a fast reaction there from Fonseca just to pass it right up to the front to try and get an attempt of a shot on.
FC London now trying to push a bit offensively. Sends that horizontal, but too far horizontal, and Camille can't get to it. Send long, and goes out of play, and looks like the ball's going to go to London. So London trying to get some positive momentum here offensively. They'll play it back. Carter gets over to Bauer-Mar. Cuello, back to Carter. Over to Bauer-Mar. Back to Carter. Carter surveying the field, playing sort of the quarterback role right now. FC London not really finding anything they like. They're just kind of stalemating it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle, but ProStars, it's really good of what they've been doing right now with their formation. Right when FC London has been switching the field, their whole team has been switching to that left side, to that right side, not allowing them to get those openings.
Well, I would love to say it's 3-2 London, but that's the wrong kind of football. That one missed high by about 50 feet. Good chance nonetheless from Fonseca. Just needs to bring that down a little bit.
It was a good attempt from outside the 18-yard box. It's trying those shots out from afar, seeing how that goalie is going to react to those sort of things.
And it looks like ProStars took that a little too quick for the officials. They'll do the goal kick again.
Maloney.
Oh, actually, look at the referees going over to the London bench. What's going on here? One of the subs got a talking to, it looks like. What happened there?
Just stay in between. Hold it high, stay in between the left back.
Well, that was interesting. Maybe we'll find out more information about that at half, but either way, ProStars going to take the free kick. Then it over. Clash of heads, they keep going. Chance here for Amari. Amari's got the pace, sends it over into the box. Chance here for ProStars. Wojciechowski sent over. Loose in the box, and Slepetsky gets over for it. Slepinski's been pretty active so far, eh?
Yeah, he is. And especially even Amari here on the left side, the way that he was just able to keep that in close to the line, even cut off Camille and then brought it right over into that middle side. And then Wojciechowski just trying to still cross it in to make that attempt.
The amount of unforced errors by London so far has not been pretty. And ProStars has been happy to take advantage of them, although they'll give one right back.
Recover first. Go, slide back in. Josh, right shoulder. Josh, 10, behind you.
20 minutes into the game, ProStars up 2-0. On the far side, Kwame. It's over to Camille. To Kwame.
Low.
Camille. Tries to force it into the middle, but no one's there. Now ProStars gets sent in long. Slepinski coming out pretty far, but he's able to get a hand on it. That gets through Baqueo. And another turnover in the midfield.
Good clearance.
21 minutes in. What would you like to see from FC London for the rest of this half?
Definitely here only being 20 minutes into the match and already 2 goals up against them. FC London definitely can't lose hope right now. They need to still keep their motivation up, and definitely at this moment is just kind of still keeping that recuperating moment and maybe try to push and test this team out a bit, but especially because ProStars is forcing them to go a little bit more wide, and maybe that might not be their gameplay. It could be a bit of a struggle, and they might have to figure out some new routes.
Over in the corner is Amari. Amari sends it in the box, and looks like it must have gone out of bounds at some point because everyone just kind of stopped playing. Slepinski plays it short. Slepinski's going to play it now. Over to Barmar. Barmar moving up with it. He'll play it forward. Down the midfield. Cam. Over to Fonseca. Fonseca sends it down, but nobody's there. ProStars with the send to the far side. Chance now for the ProStars. Looking to try and cross it in the box. They'll bail out of it. Paradis. Zis. Back to Paradis. Zis controlling it in the midfield. Sends it over to DeFeo. DeFeo likes to cross it. They'll send it back over to Zis. Zis has to bail out. Good attack there by London, and ProStars have to bail out. Coming him in there is Camille. And now ProStars gets loose. Looking to try and get a simulated counterattack here. And big chance for ProStars here. They've got the numbers, but a good foot in. I believe that was Carter. Gets the ball out of there. And that did go out of play. That couldn't be saved by Camille. ProStars is going to keep possession.
Drop there.
Send long. And out of play. 24 minutes in now. And FC London hasn't really shown a lot of life this half. One attempt and it was a mile high. Into the midfield now. Fonseca. Fonseca looking for some options. Looking for some help.
Oh.
Chance here, shot. Oh, save, but it was offside anyway. Good attempt. Couldn't quite do anything with it.
It was a good run from Fonseca as well to run down like that, especially because Carter and even Mar in the back there were holding. They weren't able to do too much because of ProStars holding up a bit more formation.
And that one's quite a bit offside. DeFeo wasn't too happy with that call. And FC London still not really sure what to do with this ProStars defense. Only one onside attempt so far in this game, or ProStars have double that amount of goals. Oh, hard foul there. So you're a nice little play, but just clashing together, and I don't know, would you have given a yellow for that?
It was poor timing from Wojciechowski, the way he came in. Oh!
Great save there by Maloney. And London has some life. They'll get a corner here. Let's take a look here.
It was a really good try from Fonseca there, especially right out of that 18-yard box. Right away, you can see that goalkeeper is a little bit not comfortable with those long shots out, so Fonseca is trying to take advantage of that.
So the captain will send this into the box. And cleared away easily by ProStars. A good chance goes begging early. London can't really afford to miss too many of those with how many they've been getting. Playing in the midfield. Back over to the defenders. You'd really like FC London to get a bit more jam here. Send it in the box. Chance here. And ProStars clears that out easily. Showing some life now, though. Goes back and forth in the midfield. Sees a little give and go. He's hammered. No call. And FC London catches a break. Name back. Bequayo.
Some good quick passes that happen in the middle there.
Bequayo sends it long. Kamali. Sent long. Oh, I don't know about that one. Offside is called, and Fonseca's pretty vocal about not liking that one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that was offside.
Let's take a look here. We got a pretty good angle out of it over here. When does he get his run going? That's closer than it looked, but I still don't think that's offside.
Yeah, definitely that one center back looked like he could have been keeping him on.
And with how little offense FC London's gotten going so far, they're not going to be thrilled that one of their best chances has been wiped out. Turnover. ProStars now with a chance. And good defensive play by FC London to keep that away. Both teams are now just kind of sending it back into each other, hoping something breaks. And FC London have broken more than ProStars have so far. Maybe going for a run here. Has to cycle back and goes back to Slapinski. Slapinski's had some adventures with the ball so far today, but he plays that one cleanly.
Good turn.
Yeah, Baquayo's looked pretty solid today. Probably been FC London's best player so far.
Yeah, playing in that center defensive role, you have to take on a big role there, and there's a lot of things you have to clean up, sweep up, and get a lot of balls clearing out. And if Baquayo's not stepping up to the plate on that, it can cause some faults in their defense line.
That was a ball played to DeFeo, but he couldn't get to it. So FC London playing it out in their own end. Beautiful backdrop on that side of the field. Unfortunately, we've been seeing it a bit too much this half. Playing out of the defense now. Koya. Over to Barmar.
Guys, use the 260.
It's turned over pretty easily. And FC London, their forwards are pretty good, but they've been having trouble getting it to them. Half hour into the game now. Playing out of the defense again, Barmar. Koyo. Finds Kamali. Gets it over. And second Kamali play give and go, but it's turned over. Koyo's able to clean up the mess. And he gets stripped. And now a good run here, and that'll be called offside. Pretty dangerous chance. But the linesman throws his flag up. And FC London is going to try and turn it over the other side. On the far side. Barmar. Koyo. And he gives it away. Now a chance here for ProStars. Slowing up with it is Amari. Amari looking to play one. Turn. Baquayo, shot! Save! Good stop by Slapinski. Ball still alive. Chance here. Zias gets it in the box. That's turned aside. Zias picks it up again. Adora. Got it over. Play in the box, shot!
My.
And I believe that just missed the net. There's a nice play there by Wojciechowski. Then the shot came, and a shot came from Amari, and a great save by Slapinski.
A huge save. Definitely those lower shots coming in, Slapinski is aware of it, and very agile move to save that one down in the bottom left corner.
FC London playing out of the defense again. Carter. It's over to Kamali. Baquayo. Back to Kamali. Now Fonseca. Fonseca is taking one from out here earlier. He's going to take one again. The shot save. Good save by Maloney, but that's what you got to do. A guy playing in only his second League One Ontario game, you got to pepper him.
Fonseca was definitely not seeing that ball getting to Barnes, so definitely that quick cut back and making that shot with the left foot was a good attempt.
DeFeo. Looking for an option. He's going to just play it back.
Time, let's keep it.
Turnover. Now this could be something here. Camilli. It's over. Now it's the other Camilli on the far side. Bequeo. Back to Armar. Armar to Carter.
Relax.
Carter into the middle. On the far side, they're going to keep with the play. Now a chance here. Bodies clattering everywhere, and I believe that Maloney eventually got to it.
Looked like Fonseca was looking for the call from the ref.
Send long. Amari gets it over. Now a chance here for ProStars. Nunes, one-on-one, looking for some help. Finds it. Pass over. And a pass a bit too long, and Amari couldn't do much with it. And he was offside nonetheless. So Slapinski will take the free kick. He'll take it quick. Bequeo, quarterbacking this one. Looking for some help. He finds it. Fonseca. Both of London's shots so far in this game have come from Fonseca, and they've come from pretty far out. Carter. Thought about sending it long. He'll play it short. Camilli puts it in. Shot.
Oh.
Scores! What a snipe!
Wow.
Ryan Baker with the snipe from distance. And FC London are back in it.
That was his first goal of the season, actually. Wow.
And now it's only 2-1, so FC London, maybe that might be the positive momentum they need to get cooking here. ProStars, though, looking to answer right away. Good defensive play there to keep that from going anywhere. And the whistle goes. Looks like it's going to be a foul on London. I didn't see who it was on. I think it was Fonseca. But Baker makes it 2-1, gets the crowd into it. Paredes going to take the free kick, sends it over. Aziz puts it in the corner. Now ProStars looking for another one. Into the middle, nothing doing. And now London look for the counterattack. Fonseca plays it over to Bequeo. Bequeo settling it down. Bequeo and Camilli playing all give and go. And it's Mike Snedden that actually got that goal. 8-9 look very similar on my card. Send it on the far side. Amari. Amari trying to do it himself. Amari, nice play. Amari sends it over, scores! Beautiful play by Amari. Finds someone friendly on the other side, and it's 3-1.
Not too sure what was going on back there with the FC London's defense. Amari was able to do a quick cut going forward, and then a little quick cut coming back, and then was just able to make a cheeky little to the top of the box and a little shot into the back.
Yeah, unfortunately, Amari sent Angel Camilli's ankles all the way to Brampton. And it's 3-1 ProStars. 38 minutes in. London got the one goal to put them back in it, but ProStars looking to quiet this crowd right away. And looks like for the Heat, they're going to take a water break. So this will just be added to the injury time at the end of the half. So it's not like they're just going to lose this time played.
Yeah, with Mike Snedden actually getting that goal, he still leads in the team of scoring. He currently was having 7 goals, and now he will be up to 8.
I believe that also puts him into 4th in League One Ontario.
That's huge for Snedden. And even the opportunities Sneddon had there, that was very far out, even a little bit further back from the 18-yard box. And especially with ProStars not allowing any sort of gaps in their defense line, they've been holding their formation very well. And even whenever FC London is moving over to try and get it through the wing side and cross it down to the wings, their midfield is very interesting. One midfielder on the wing side, one of the centers will come over a bit more to the wing to try and block off any sort of cross going down there. And suffocating them like that and not allowing them going into the far wide and then having to make them push down to the middle can make a struggle for FC London. And especially for something like this now, FC London has changed a bit around, and taking those long shots out is never a bad thing.
It may be 3-1, it may be a tough season for FC London, but you can't take the amazing fans out of it, can you?
No, you cannot.
Trying to will their team back into it. It's been a tough season for FC London, but crowd behind you never hurts. Barmar puts it over to Camilli. Camilli under pressure, and it's turned over. Chance here for ProStars. Amari. Amari again. Amari, a one-man wrecking crew right now. Try to get it over to Zeist, it's cut off. And trying to muscle his way in there was Nolim. Or Khan, sorry.
That was strong from defending from Mar, though. Even the first try to clearing it out, and then Amari coming right back at him. It was good, though, that Mar was able to keep his composure and was still able to cut off Amari and not let that ball to get through.
Buquayo sends it along. Now they might be cooking something up here. Tries to send that quick into the box. It's a nice block. Still in play. And that'll actually have quite a bit of English on it. And I believe that went out for a corner. So lucky bounce for FC London, and they'll pick up a corner out of it. Looks like Buquayo's going to take it. It looks like they're setting up to take it short. As Ryan Baker is also over there. And Buquayo's going to send it into the box, actually. Chance here. It's loose, spills out, shot. It's blocked, still loose. And finally covered up, and a whistle was called at some point. Maybe a push off by FC London.
Got a little scrambled in there.
Now ProStars kind of doing what they want right now. Bringing it in now, Amari.
Oh.
Amari a shot, big save by Slapinski. Rebound out, another chance, scores!
Wow.
And staying with the play after the nice save, and ProStars makes it 4-1. I think that was Paradis who got the shot off. And that was Uday Aurora who got the shot off. Just, it looked like everyone on FC London was kind of ready to celebrate Slapinski's save and kind of forgot the ball was still in play.
Yeah, I got to be aware of those deflections and those rebounds coming in. But that was a strong run from Amari. The vision he had, seeing that ball being crossed in and going right over, going cross past those two center backs on FC London, seeing where that cross was coming in. Good vision.
FC London, they're a really young team, and that's the kind of thing that a young team, those are the kind of mistakes a young team is going to make. But as they get experience in League One Ontario, that'll happen less and less. This is a team built for the future. Whereas ProStar is very much a team built for the playoffs now, trying to make a run for the Voyageurs Cup next year. Still played along the wall and goes out of play, and ProStars will keep possession. DeFeo played it quick. ProStars based out of Brampton. As mentioned, 3 points out of a playoff spot right now. You win League One Ontario, you go to the Canadian Championship, the Voyageurs Cup, against Canadian Premier League and MLS teams, and that's the kind of team that ProStars wants to be this season, whereas FC London's kind of a 2 or 3 year plan right now.
It's huge getting into the Voyagers Cup. Can really make you put a name for yourself out there.
It hasn't been a League One Ontario team that's won a round yet, but Vaughan Azzurri have come close. Masters FA have come close. London FC, or FC London, sorry, was 1 game away from going to the Voyagers Cup a couple of years ago, and that still stings this team. That still stings this organization, and that's why they kind of rebuilt this whole roster, trying to put themselves in a position to get there in a couple of years. ProStars playing within themselves right now. We haven't seen how much injury time we're going to be playing yet. The 4th official has it in his hand, but he hasn't put it up yet. Send long. Amari and DeFeo. Nothing doing there. Now FC London kind of playing within themselves a little bit as we get to the 45th minute. And it looks like we're going to play 1 minute of injury time. So 1 extra minute. Sent long. Played in the middle. Maybe one more rush here for ProStars or FC London before we head to the break. Walking in with it, looking for an outlet, finds one. Amari, knocked off. Nunes got it shoved off him, and it's going to be a corner. And this will likely be the last play before we head to break. A ProStars corner. It looks like it's going to be Amari taking it, with Aurora as an option with for a short corner. And they'll play it short. Gallo picked off. Now this could be the last play for a break. Cam going for a run, but he can't win the race, and that'll be half. Dominating half for ProStars. FC London only able to crawl 1 back. It's 4-1 ProStars. We'll be back here on Rogers TV right after this.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
Hi, my name is Chris Burkles. I am the London Knights producer and director. I've been at Rogers TV for 23 years. I am where I am today because of the experience and the skills I learned when I was a volunteer here at Rogers over 23 years ago. Without my volunteer experience, I don't think I would have been able to have the knowledge of what it takes to direct live sporting events. Now as a staff member, I get the opportunity to share my expertise with the volunteers. Volunteering is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, and I highly recommend that you volunteer for Rogers TV and get your start in the broadcasting industry.
Rogers TV, FC London soccer on Rogers TV, and FC London was able to get the 1, but that's all they got, and ProStars got 4 more.
Yeah, it's been unlucky for FC London, but I mean, you can't be down and out in these sort of moments. When it comes into second half, you kind of need to step it up a gear and show ProStars, like, we're here to play. And it goes right now, even coming into second half, the way that ProStars has been pressuring FC London very much and putting that high press onto them, it could make a bit of a toll to them. Their fitness level might come down a little bit, so this could open up some opportunities for FC London.
Right.
But right now, though, ProStars has been holding their formation very well.
Yeah, and you can't be even too mad about the 4 goals you gave up because they were really good goals, too. Maybe 1 or 2 you want your defense, you want Slapinski to have, but, I mean, if we can take a look at the goals real quick. I mean, see, here was the first one. This was the cross. And, again, it's just a scramble. Like, maybe you want your defense to have that, but that's a 50-50 ball. And then here was the corner. And, again, you maybe want Slapinski to follow that better. You maybe want taller guys in there, but that's really all you can get. Here was the banger.
Beautiful shot.
By Snedden. And we thought that might be the turning point, and then ProStars did this, and I mean, full credit to Faris Amari. What a beautiful play by him there.
Yeah, that was insane, and Amari has been really eating it up here on that left side of the field against FC London. And that's a key thing from FC London is that what I've been seeing is on the wide, they've not been cutting off those wide shots or that cross-ins or those runs a lot, and if FC London can kind of execute that and shut down those runs coming from wide, they could actually have a good, strong potential of making their way in.
Yeah, and the thing with FC London is we've been harping on it all day. This ProStars team is built to contend right now. They're a team that wants to see themselves in the Voyageurs Cup next year. FC London is a team that has like a 2 or 3 year plan. They're a young team. They're a rebuilding team. So much roster turnover from the last playoff runs. This is a team that isn't really built for wins now. They're built to compete now, but they're built to push forward into the future. What is, like, if you're playing on a team like that, what is the mindset? You know you're a team that's not going to compete for a title. How do you get yourself amped up to come out even for the second half of this game when you're down 4-1?
Definitely from seeing the mistakes that just happened in the first half is knowing what's going on, seeing what you need to actually fix from, and come out still thinking when you're coming to the second half like it's 0-0. Because if you come in the mindset, it's 4-0 loss, like we're not going to come back. You will never win from that. And if you just come into the mindset of a 0-0 sort of style, they could actually have a strong potential of, you know what, like, let's see how this goes. Let's see how it comes. Because every half is different of how it's going to be out there.
And as the sun starts to set here at the Greek Canadian Club here in London, Ontario, on Rogers TV, we'll have more FC London soccer after this.
Imagine an attack scenario, walk into your car, late at night, your attacker comes from behind, grabs you in a nice, strong, tight bear hug. Right? I'm locked in. I have nowhere to go. I can't break my arms free. I get control of his hands and wrists. What I do is I drop my weight, shooting my hips, pushing his balance back, right? I step out my outside leg, move my weight over, step behind him, where from here, I can shoot my elbows out, which will push him out, or grab leg control. Leg control. From here, my attacker is on the ground, where I can get control in any which way I would like to, or submit, or simply take off.
Welcome back to the Hellenic Community Centre here in London, Ontario. FC London Soccer on Rogers TV. I'm Joey Langdon. This is Alex Allan. And Alex, one thing we noticed this game is FC London doesn't really have a keeper. They have a sweeper back there who's been playing out a lot. He's been moving around a lot. When you're playing out with a keeper that likes to move a lot, does that change how you play?
It does, especially with the defense line. It means they can kind of push up a little bit more, and it definitely helps the defensive line feel a bit more comfortable that they have a defender that they can pass to. And Slapinski has been that. He almost is acting a bit like that defender, and it's huge from him. And even just him being a goalkeeper with all these shots coming in, even though he has let 4 come in, that's okay. There were a little bit of a scrambling happening around, and
he's been kind of peppered today.
Yeah, quick passes going around. It's a little awkward to try and get those save those shots, but.
And then compare that to Maloney on ProStars. A lot more of a traditional goalkeeper. He doesn't like to move a lot. I don't think he's touched the ball with his feet once today, other than to make a free kick. But he's been able to make some really clutch saves.
He has. I see here, though, that this is actually his second game that he's playing for ProStars at the moment. And what I've sort of slowly noticed a little bit is he's a bit awkward, and he's been really screaming a bit more at his defense line to hold that defense line very strong, and he doesn't want any balls to get close or even a lot of shots getting taken off. And right away from FC London reacting fast to that and say, yeah, let's take some quick shots at him, it's making Maloney feel a bit awkward, and he has to prepare a bit more of those long shots coming in now.
Yeah, and in the third level of the pyramid, it's really high level soccer, and you really need to be on your A game if you're going to play even for a couple of games. But we mentioned it's third level of the pyramid. There is a goal here, and ProStars is going for it this year. Top 6 in the league make the standings, or top 6 in the standings make the playoffs. You see here they're in 7th, 3 points back of Hamilton with 1 game in hand. A win today puts them in that playoff spot, or at least tied for it. And they would absolutely love to be in that spot because, as we mentioned, top 6 make the playoffs. Winner of the playoffs goes to the Voyageurs Cup to play against the MLS and the Canadian Premier League teams. FC London missed out on that by a game a couple years ago. And ProStars, they've got the roster to do it this year. They don't want to let that opportunity slip this time.
Yeah, and it looks like ProStars as well is trying to concede as many goals as possible because it looks like it might go down to a bit of a goal differential going on there. So them with 4 goals already on FC London, they're seeing how Hamilton is, and if they're going to try and actually get up into that 6th place, they need as many goals as possible for them.
Yeah, traditionally in a game like this, you might see the team that's up 4-1 play a lot more defensively. ProStars can't. They're in a bit of a hole right now. Hamilton is plus 22, I believe that said, and ProStars is only about plus 2. So they need to score a bunch of goals to catch up with Hamilton in case of a tie because of the plus-minus you mentioned.
Yeah, it's crucial in those sort of moments, and especially with sitting with only like a plus or minus 2 goals for a goal differential for ProStars. They are definitely trying to get some more on the board.
All right, well, we'll have more FC London soccer for you after the break here from the Hellenic Community Centre on Rogers TV.
Hey, this is Scott Navarro, producer here at Rogers TV, and while I've been a staff member for about 5 years, I've actually started my Rogers TV journey as a volunteer 10 years ago. I started as a volunteer in high school, trying to get some hands-on experience, see if I liked working in TV, and I loved it. I met some great people who I'm still friends with to this day, and the technical skills I learned helped me get a job in Toronto working in TV before moving back to London to get a job here at Rogers TV. So if you're a young person and you're interested in television production, I recommend you come out, get some hands-on experience, and see if you like it. Or even if you're a not so young person, I still recommend you join our crew, get some experience, and have some fun along the way. We've got some opportunities working on sports productions, studio productions, and shooting shows out in the field. So if this is something that you're interested in, go to rogerstv.com/volunteer, and I'd love to see you on one of my crews real soon.
Welcome back, everyone, here to FC London against ProStars FC here on Rogers TV. It looks like the players are just getting ready back onto the field for second half. Some of the players are just warming up for the substitutions. And some of the returning players actually from FC London is Patrick Mello, Mike Sneddon, Connor Miller, and Ibrahim Khalaf. And right there, it looks like they're just huddling up, seeing if they can come back from this 4-1 loss at the moment. And among the non-local players are some of Bequeo. The goalkeeper, Slapinski, are from Saskatchewan. Mateo Herrera is from Manitoba. And Harry Connor is coming from Newfoundland. Pretty far out. And Slapinski is their goalie here tonight, but they do have another goalkeeper that is from South Korea. He's only played 6 games for them at the moment. FC London is still huddled up, trying to definitely motivate themselves here to get into the second half against ProStars. ProStars is already warming up. Definitely FC London's going to come out in the second half hoping not to be flat-footed. Going to try and be a bit more aware of what's going on here onto the wide against ProStars. Hopefully to shut down any plays that ProStars will try to come against them. For ProStars FC, their leading scorer is Amir Kanani, who has 7 goals. And he's tied currently 6th in the league with actually Mike Sneddon. And here we are, starting off for the second half. FC London has first ball. Ooh. Bequeo making a run in the middle there. Gets stumbled up with ProStars, and it'll be a free kick for them. Carter passing over to Marr. Bequeo. Cross comes over. And a little too far. And it will be goal kick for ProStars. Maloney quick and passing that one off. Big crossover here to the wide.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yep, so far, London has looked a little bit more lively.
Step Bradley, step Bradley!
The first couple of minutes.
Step Zis. Zis, left shoulder, Zis, left shoulder. Chetty, no turn. Chetty, don't let him feel you. Chetty, don't let him feel you. Zis, left.
Throw in here. He's got some options. Gets it back to Sneddon, the goal scorer. He's dispossessed.
Hey!
Yeah, hard foul.
A little bit of too much of a shoulder from Cam there.
Chetty, come back!
Big
Sent in the
crossover.
box and a little bit long.
ProStars substitution coming to the game, number 32.
Nolim's been a big threat for that, coming over onto that right side of the wing and just crossing it in, not even close to the corner.
Going in the game for ProStars.
Does throw off the FC London defense line a bit when a big cross comes over like that.
Also going in the game, number 10, Amir Kanani.
And the ProStars, by the way, had some subs going out of half. Ogbevion comes in.
Harry travel, Harry travel!
So does Kanani. So number 10 and number 38 come into the game. Now London maybe able to get something going here. And a little run going. Played over, but hit a body, and The only one there was a ProStar. Now this one's sent on. ProStar's looking for the counterattack, but the defense is there. A little bit of a midfield chess match early. Kamali.
Yes.
Kamali again. FC London playing out of the back once again, trying to make something happen here. ProStar's not giving them much to work with. Slapinski coming out again.
FC London substitution coming out of the game, number 11, Elijah Barnes. Also coming out of the game, number 24, Sokol Kamali. Winning the game, number 20, Aurora Boateng.
And FC London also made some changes. Aurora Boateng comes in.
Game, number 23, Juan Sebastian.
And so does Gomez Galliano. That one's sent in the box. This could be a chance here for Boateng. No. Nice little play there by Maloney, coming a little bit out of his comfort zone. So what have you seen so far this early in this half from both sides?
There's been a lot of changes going around for FC London right now. They've been holding back just a little bit more, but their formation has changed a bit. They've tried to make some attempts right now, a little bit more going into the middle instead of trying to push out to that wide, seeing that they are getting to suffocate a bit more on the wide there. And right now, there's not been too much that's been changed around from ProStars, but a unique thing that ProStars has been doing a lot is whenever FC London gets into their side, they pull back as much as possible, and their whole defense line, their whole formation is pulling back so much and leaving such a big gap into the center there. And definitely whenever they get that ball back right away, they counter so fast onto FC London, and FC London is reacting a little bit to it now.
Now maybe a chance here. Good defensive play again. FC London now finally getting some sustained pressure. Can they get anything out of it? Going down, no call. Played in the box. No, that's cleared away. And now sending it along. They've got the numbers.
Wojciechowski.
Wojciechowski makes a really nice play to keep possession for ProStars. Just humming it around over there. Wojciechowski gets it back to the defense. They're going to try and settle it down a bit. FC London had them running around a little bit. Milsena, they got a guy moving. Nolim. It's picked off. And Bequayo sent it over. Long ball. No friendly faces. And just can't get any sustained pressure. ProStars has been able to kind of just go out for a Sunday jog. Another chance here for ProStars into the box. Kanani sent over. Going for a run with it. Amari's been everywhere today. Amari's still going, and he draws a foul.
Baker.
And he'll see yellow. So Baker picks up the tactical foul yellow there. So there, yep. It's just a quick grab of the jersey to avoid a breakaway. That's an easy yellow. Amari's kind of winded right now. He's going to catch his breath. No, that's not Amari. That's Zis. This is going to set up for a traditional free kick, so the referee's got to make sure that if London wants to set up a wall, it's a good distance away. This might be going straight on net here.
Yeah, Zeus is in a position that he could try to take a shot on net. The cross might be the stronger play for him.
Slapinski very clearly has the sun in his eyes, though. Zeus sends it on, cleared away, and it'll be a corner for ProStars.
Number 8, Ryan Baker.
It's a good attempt. Zeus being right-footed. A cross did make a bit more of sense to try and take that one on. definitely if someone was left-footed in that position, they would have definitely tried to take the shot on.
They'll take the cross short now, put it in the box. And it's turned away, and FC London doesn't quite have the bodies upfield to make anything out of that. ProStars really just kind of playing with their food now. FC London, if they want to come back in this game, they got to score quick, and they're not really acting with the sense of urgency you'd expect, no?
No, they are not. They are not putting that pedal down. Definitely might just be a little scared to try to attempt to go in and get a loss from a counter, because a lot of counters have happened here from ProStars, and they've had very strong attempts of goals and have actually executed some goals too. Carter.
Sent into the middle. Carter will grab it again. Baker. Sent over to Kamali. Kamali thought about sending it on net from that far, but plays in the middle. Ooh. And Fonseca went down pretty hard. Play continues. Fonseca's down in some pain. It could be a chance here for ProStars. Good tackle there. Fonseca's still down, and they'll kick it out so Fonseca can get looked at.
Good slide tackle from Carter against Kanani. Kanani was...
Here's the Fonseca play.
Yeah, collision of knees.
Yeah, just bashed knee on knee, looks like. It wasn't intentional for sure. But Fonseca's night might be done. I mean, it's 4-1. You got guys on the bench. I believe they've only made 2 subs. You might want to just save him for the next game, but who do you have on the bench that can play Fonseca's role? Looks like Fonseca's going to try and stay in. He's in a lot of pain.
Looks like he's trying to walk that off. Could have just been very stinging at the start, especially it's your knee you're talking about. It's very sensitive when you do actually get collided with that with another knee as well.
So it was ProStars throw in, but because of an injury, they'll just play it out and let FC London have the ball deep in their own end, and they'll try and home in there. Carter. Looking for some help. Finds Kamali. Kamali sends it long. But coming out for it. Pretty far. Was Maloney. And if you want to see FC London again, our next broadcast will be August 6th. The men's team will welcome Guelph United into town. Coverage will start at 7 p.m. Hope you join us for that game. Guelph will be coming in hungry for a win, and FC London on a bit of a cold streak right now. Hoping to turn it around for them.
Yes. Turn.
ProStars still pushing hard. ProStars very much a more physical team than FC London. But FC London not afraid to get scrappy. Problem is when they get a little too scrappy and start taking these fouls, giving up possession. Shot on net! Ooh. Oh, good chance there. Looked like Kanani had a good chance on it. Couldn't quite get the foot on it. Slapinski played that pretty well. What did you see there?
It was a good cut back actually from the outside of the 18-yard box and then trying to attempt to take a shot. But definitely FC London just, they've been holding down a little bit more of those wing run-ins, and that's a huge crucial thing to see right now in the second half is they're learning a little bit from the mistakes from the first half, seeing those runs come in, and they're not letting Amadi to run down a bit more to that corner and pass it up to the top of that 18, because those are very big threats that can happen.
So, FC London playing out of their own half now. They'd really like to make something happen. Sends it to the middle. Swarmed right away. Now they'll get it over to Baker. Baker plays back over to Kamali. Or sorry, Barmar. Barmar sends it long to Cam. Cam plays it into the middle. Almost a good chance for Snedden, but it was turned over. And the ProStars take possession.
It's quite interesting there. Cam had a bit of time on his hands, and Baker was attempting that overlapping run with him. It looked like there might have been a bit of miscommunication. Cam could have sent it down wide there to Baker.
A little bit messy there from Maloney, but nothing to it.
Okay, and Wojciechowski. Also coming out of the game, number 39, Boya Cohen. Going into the game, number 33, Isaiah Moore.
Looks like the ProStars are getting ready to make a couple changes.
Julian De Sousa.
Looks like it's Noel and D'Souza coming in. And the ProStars still playing out of the back. They're content to kind of just let clock drain right now. They don't have to do much right now, although we mentioned they know that they need that four goals against differential if they want to get that playoff spot. If they end up tied with Hamilton or Alliance, the two teams they're really battling with right now for that last playoff spot.
ProStars have kind of put the brakes on a little bit. They've eased off in some moments. Not been trying to put that high press on. Good cross.
And now maybe something here. Amari, very skilled with the ball, trying to make something happen. Amari, shot, scores! Amari with another gem. This time he'll put his stamp on it. Amari having an excellent game, 2 assists and a goal to his credit now. And it's 5-1 ProStars.
Wow. What a run. Just the cutbacks that Amari can make, it just can make the defender just be looking in both directions on where he is. Quite the shadow of a player. And just to get around at a center back like that.
My bad there. Wow. Amari picks up his 3rd assist. That was Kanani who got the finishing strike on it. So Kanani scores. Amari, his 3rd assist. Looks like FC London's going to make a change here. Camille's coming off for Patrick Mello. We got some super fans here trying to steal the mic right now, so I'm doubling as bodyguard and play-by-play right now. Well, right now they're losing. 5-1 ProStars, and London playing out of the back now. Playing out of the back, and it'll be a free kick now for Harry Carter. Carter played short. KB Baqueo sends it long. Clash of the heads. Now a chance here for Boateng. Boateng playing it back a little bit, but keeping possession. Playing it into the box. Chance here. But a turnover and collected by Maloney. And Zeus coming pretty far back to try and help out his goalkeeper. Zeus was playing more of an attacking midfielder earlier. It looks like they've pulled him back into more of a center defense position.
Number 14, Andrew Camilli.
Looks like FC London's going to be making another change here. Looks like Samuel Barrowcliff's going to come in next whistle. It's going to be Jonathan Cam coming off.
Samuel Barrowcliff. Also into the game for number 6, Patrick Mello.
Now at the back, Zeus sends it long. Kanani, or sorry, that's Gallo. Finds Amari. At the back with it. Paratis with a goal to his credit today. Finds Ogbevon.
Leem.
Into the box. And that'll eventually go out, and it'll go out for a goal kick. FC London now getting some momentum here. And Barrowcliff now comes into the game. So that ends Jonathan Cam's night. Cam had a pretty good first half, but hasn't really been around in the second half, and they'll give Barrowcliff a shot here. Sent in. Baquayo. Baquayo dodges the slide and gives it away. And now ProStars coming in with it. Given away again. Now a chance for Baramar. Picked off. And now here comes ProStars. Chance here, walking in the box. A little deke, little shot, scores! Nice little play there by Amir Kanani. And it's now 6-1. Kanani with the really nice play. Dekes out the goalkeeper. Walk me through this one here.
Yeah, Kanani just ran in, and it was a good cross coming on to the other side from Amari. It looked like he might have expected to run down a bit more on the wing, but he saw Kanani there and was like, yep, I'm going to just try and cross it over right into the middle. And especially with FC London catching a bit flat-footed there, and their whole midfield and strikers were holding a bit more up to the front, and then just with 4 players back for FC London in the defense line, with a counter like that, unexpected, it's unlucky for them.
So ProStars is actually going to make a change here for their goalkeeper. And we mentioned that this is only Maloney's second over League One game. Well, we're getting some league experience here for Ivan Pavella. His first ever League One Ontario game in his career, so making his pro debut for ProStars. Coming in with a pretty safe lead to protect, but he'll be responsible for it anyway. Playing out of the back. Carter. Baramar plays it over and given away.
Coming on the game for ProStars FC, number 24,
The FC London defense looked good for the first part of the second half. They were starting to crumble.
Ivan Pavella.
It might intrigue a bit for FC London seeing a new goalkeeper come in from ProStars. It might try and motivate them to get some more shots on net, see how this goalkeeper is.
Look at where Pavella's standing right now. He's standing up. He's walking up almost to midfield. This is his first ever League One game. He wants to get into the play.
Almost looks like he wants to be a defender.
Hummed into the corner now. ProStars looking to try and make something happen in the offensive zone. Paratis sends it into the box. Body on body, FC London will win that one. Spills out. Now here comes a chance on the counterattack. Sent long along the wall, along the line. Barrowcliff coming into the game, looking to try and make a difference. Samuel Barrowcliff pass it over.
ProStars FC goal.
Fonseca
Scored by number 10, Amira.
on the far side. Fonseca gets it back. He's taking a couple shots today.
Scored in the 65th minute.
Tries to send that one in kind of lazily, and it's blocked. ProStars have a guy down, but they can't quite get the ball over there. Good defensive pressure there. Now on the counter press. Mello coming off the bench. Finds someone, finds Boateng.
Oh,
Chance
wow. What a shot.
FC London crawls one back. And how about that one?
That was huge.
KB Baquayo with the snipe.
Great work from Baquayo. And definitely right now, Mello and Barrowcliff coming into the match, they're really changing the momentum up very fast. And Barrowcliff even just making the run a bit there on that left side and almost going out.
Oh, the flares are out.
Whoa, wow.
It's
The
6-2 and they brought out flares.
Still got to show your spirit off. Great work from Baquayo, though. To attempt a shot from that and getting it right into the top right corner.
So in the 69th minute, Baquayo with a great shot and a good give and go with Boateng, and FC London gets one back. Still plenty of time. They can get a couple more, especially with the fresh goalie, as ProStars looking to make something happen now. I will say, I whispered this to our producer earlier. S-tier goal song, Freed from Desire by Gala. That's a fantastic goal song. Can't ask for a better one. There's more flares. Were they expecting more goals?
It's quite smoky over here in the corner for us. Can't see what's going on.
I definitely saw him throw 2 flares. Did he forget to do it on the first goal? That's what I want to know. Anyway, sent in the box there. A little bit of a sloppy cross there by Zeiss. He's been doing that. He's been having a bunch of crosses this game. That was his first one that wasn't quite on target. And FC London maybe getting some life here from that goal. They want to get a couple more. They still got about 20 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, definitely going back to what I was saying with Mello and Barrowcliff coming here onto the pitch. They have really changed the whole momentum right now for FC London. Barrowcliff making a few runs in right now and Mello making these long passes over to the wide. It has really been changing and kind of giving that motivation that FC London's been needing.
Trying to work it into the box. Nothing doing there. Mello sends it over to Carter. Carter's been having a pretty good game. Pushes it in. It's over to Baquayo. Chance, and he's brought down in the box. Everyone's looking at the ref. The ref says nothing. And here come the ProStars the other way. That was iffy. And now the ProStars are looking to take advantage.
Baquayo in the 68th minute.
Looks like maybe Carter could have just slipped in there in the 18-yard. Not too sure what happened there.
And FC London looking to try and push it. Great chance here. Good defensive play there. Gallo. Mello. Sends it over. Baquayo. Baquayo has been really good with the ball today. Sends it over. And a little bit of a slip. And that ball's turned over. FC London coming out with some life since the 65th minute.
Sammy, fucking crunch him, man. Sammy, crunch him.
ProStars looking a little bit out of sorts right now, but they can afford to be. They're up by a bit. And now a chance here.
Mello.
Mello
Good
into
ball.
the box. Sneddon. Sneddon a shot. And that's handled. First career League One save for Pavella. And Sneddon's a little worse for wear on the pitch right now.
It's looking like a whole new team out there right now.
And Sneddon's still down. And London will finally play it out. Let's see here. That's probably a foul. ProStars maybe should have had a foul in the box. FC London maybe could have got a penalty kick as Pavella made a nice save there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure with that. I'm not sure what the call was there for that. Maybe the ref was kind of just looking the other direction, but I'm not too sure on that.
Let me tell you, with how ProStars have been offensively, with how effective they've been, FC London would really be upset to find that one of their chances they were able to get was taken away from them. As you see, I believe that is Snedden, who's getting some treatment right now. Maybe a cramp in his calf.
Speaking about FC London right now at the moment, though, a huge thing that I've just been slowly noticing, sort of more in the first half, Bequeo was in that CDM sort of position, holding it by himself, and there was a lot going on in the middle that Bequeo was just not able to handle by himself. And now with Melo being beside him as both acting as CDM sort of players, it's been huge to kind of control a bit more of what's happening in the middle. And ProStars is kind of scrambling a bit what's happening. And Melo has been holding it very well, and it's been allowing Bequeo to kind of get into more of the action, and it's helping out for FC's London defense line right now.
So a pair of changes being made. Snedden's coming off, but for ProStars, Raymond's coming on. Mahmoud Raymond. And Snedden's coming off, and I have yet to see who's coming on to replace him yet, but I know someone is. Looks like it might be Julian Sanchez. That's sent back. As it says, Lipinski playing out a lot. Now we got two sweepers on both sides. Both goalkeepers are playing out quite a bit. On the far side, Sanchez. Sent over. And a foul is called on ProStars. Sanchez plays it short. Melo. Looking for some help, finds it to Harry Carter. Carter, over to Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff gets dispossessed. It's out of play. Carter plays it short to Melo. Melo's gonna take it himself, find some space. Melo tried to get it to Boateng, nothing doing. Melo's got it back. Now it's over to Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff looking to get something in the box. Tried to find Melo, couldn't get it, goes all the way back to Sanchez. Or sorry, Fonseca.
Entering the game, number 17, Julian Sanchez.
Barmar. Back to Fonseca. Barmar pointing something out at Melo. Now he's going to try and find a running Baker. But nothing doing there, no. Bequia. Boateng. Boateng. Chance. And FC London thought there was a handball. Nothing was called, and ProStars gets possession. You're 3/4 of the way through the game. Now another chance here. Shot wide. Good turn and chance there by Bequio. But it goes wide, and Pavella watches that one go harmlessly by. Pavella's going to send this one out long. ProStars has the height, so sending it long is usually a good idea because they have the guys to win those head clashes. Tries to send it in the box, but FC London has probably been the better team in the second half, but they haven't had the goals to show for it. ProStars has. Now they're looking to go the other way. Barrowcliff. And bouncing ball in the midfield. Finds a ProStars foot. Still looking for something here. ProStars settling it down a lot. On the far side. Actually, FC London humming them in a little bit here. This could be trouble. Gallo has been taken over. Gallo is forced into a turnover. Chance here for FC London. And that's turned over, and now a counter for ProStars. 1 step forward, 2 steps back for FC London. Sent deep. Carter can't do much with it. Sent into the box. Chance, stopped, pass. Waiting for someone to take a shot. Someone does hit a body and goes out of play. Good panic defense there by London to stop that shot from being dangerous.
Even coming from a counter, that was strong defense from FC London, coming back, holding off any sort of attempt that was going to be put in there. And Definitely they're starting to read a little bit of that play of what ProStars is trying to react with, of cutting in more into the middle instead of trying to push it more wide. Cutting off any sort of shots that'll be made on top of that 18-yard box.
Yeah, you hear the fans in the back. FC London, even though it's a down year, they're still one of the biggest name teams in this league. They're going to get a loyal following no matter what. And then when they're winning, they're going to get an even bigger one. Sent over. Trying to regroup now are the ProStars. You mentioned earlier they really like to pick a side and put everyone on that side, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
They play pretty asymmetrically.
They definitely are. And right away when they see that opportunity of getting the ball back, 2 to 3 men on ProStars is just right on to the one FC London player just to try and get it back, and then they go right back to their formation.
And a foul is called on ProStars, so FC London maybe now able to cook. A little over 10 minutes left here. And it'll be a free kick. Looks like it's going to be, I believe that's Baqueo over there. So Baqueo looking like he's going to send this one in. Sent in. Collected cleanly by Pavella. Pavella's given up one, but other than that, his debut has been pretty clean. He's had to deal with the ball a couple of times and still with it pretty well. Now Baqueo. Dispossessed. And ProStars coming up the other way. Mello playing pretty physical. Able to get the ball back. Not quite, actually. Mello being dragged all around the field, but he's sticking with his man. ProStars has picked their side. They're going to stay on that far side for as long as they can until they get a shot. And now you got everyone on FC London over there because they've got a counter. Ball spills out and goes behind for a goal kick. Been a tough night for Jaron Slapinski. 6 goals against, but can't say he hasn't had his fair chances either. He's been peppered today.
Yeah, but here in the second half, it's huge seeing that they've been actually holding their defense a bit more, not allowing so many shots to get onto Slapinski, and Slapinski must be pretty happy for that right now.
Yes, this way. That's still good.
Coming down now. Baqueo sends it down to Boateng. Thinking maybe. No. Settling in is Carter. Carter going for a bit of a run. Tries to send it in. Had it on Julian Sanchez's feet, but it was taken away. Sanchez coming off the bench really quick. He's been a firecracker since he came out there. Mello sends it back over to Slapinski.
Good turn from Carter.
Carter trying to get something going here, sends it on the far side. Gomez Galliano. Back over to Baqueo, sorry. Mello. Got some room to step up. Can't take it short. Barrowcliff. Sends it horizontal. Over to Gomez Galliano. Back to Baqueo. Baqueo to Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff thought about a shot. Tried to go short to Sanchez. Can't do it. We're in the 82nd minute now. ProStars leading 6-2. They came to London looking for 3 points to tie for the last playoff spot, and they're looking to get it. They came out to a first half blitz, scoring 4 goals, added 2 more in the second half for good measure. And London has had their bright spots, scoring 1 goal in each half, but they have yet to show much firepower when it comes to ProStars physically. ProStars the much bigger and physical team. And Pavella, in his first ever League One game, let in 1 goal but has made 3 saves. Barrowcliff
Good cross
sends it down. Boateng.
Substitution. Coming out of the game, number 8, Ryan.
And Alex, for everything you've seen from FC London right so far this game, what's been the biggest positive?
Anderson.
The biggest 2 changes I've seen that happen right now was Barrowcliff and Mello coming into the play right now. Barrowcliff has been really holding some strong plays coming around, and he's been switching the field a bit, and he's been seeing that he's trying to act a bit more on sort of actions that are coming around, and especially Mello as well, that's seen a bit more in the back, and he's been holding and letting Carter make those runs into the middle a bit more, and that's pretty huge.
Yeah, and you're going to take losses in a rebuilding season, but the importance is you're building towards the future. You got a 3-year plan to try and get to the Voyageurs Cup. And FC London, they think they're on pace, but ProStars, they're trying to get there now. And a much older team, so a much more experienced team, as that's sent long. ProStars still playing a lot more to the far side. They play pretty asymmetrically today. Having to go over to the far side now. Look, Bevion sends it back over to their friendly side. Into the box, nothing doing there. And maybe a chance here for ProStars again. Sent long. London trying to make a run here, but they don't quite have the numbers, and ProStars able to settle it down. Pavella has looked uber cool this game. His first ever League One game, and he's been pretty chill. Hasn't shown many nerves in the back there, aside from playing probably a bit further out than his coach would like. ProStars coming back the other way. Alexander Zis got hammered there. And he's down. FC London is going to try and make something happen here. Sends it long. ProStars are yelling, why aren't you sending it out? Now a chance here for FC London. Into the box. Sent on net. Bouncing ball and out of play. Good chance there for FC London as Alexander Zis is still down. FC London will get a corner.
It's a good attempt. Sanchez took a quick turn back, seeing if he had any of the players, but saw that he could take an attempt for a shot, and it was a nice try.
So FC London with a chance for a corner now. Looking for the corner here. They're going to send it into the box. Chance, good stop there. Ivan Pavella once again. .86 minutes in. FC London showing some life offensively. Maybe try and build this into the next game. But might be a little bit too late now to crawl 4 goals back. Sanchez on the far side. Goes over to Gomez. Sending it low into the box now. Aquano knocked off the ball. Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff the shot low. Nothing doing. Now it's a battle. Barrowcliff had another shot there after the good defensive play there by Boateng, but couldn't make it happen. Gomez Galliano's going to throw it in. Going to go over to Fonseca. Back to Gomez Galliano. And Gomez Galliano loses it. Now ProStars will take control. Gomez Galliano that gets in there to stop it. Now maybe a chance here from distance. Shot.
Oh. Oh.
Just misses high. Good chance, but can rein it in. And it looks like they're going to say it went off a ProStar, so this will be a corner.
It's quite unique seeing the center back, Carter, coming in right into the middle and letting Mello hold back. And right now, it has just been such strong work from FC London, seeing if they can execute a few more goals in the back of the net.
They can't get anything off that corner. Now Amir Kanani. ProStars with a chance now. Zias. Zias. His pass is cut off. Good play there defensively by Brent Anderson. Zias alongside the line. Gets over to Bansel. Now send long by D'Souza. ProStars in the back there. Gomez Galliano has to come all the way down to defend. Gomez Galliano right now has had to play box to box because of how much the ProStars have hemmed him in there. Nolim back. Noel's going to settle it down. And the ProStars have to play it back. As the final minutes tick down in this one. Alex, what do you see in ProStars do here that London just hasn't been able to defend?
Just their positioning. It is crucial in a match and such here in League One for positioning and the way that you're putting yourself here in these games, because it can play such a crucial role. And you can see that the way that right now ProStars comes over to the wing, they always have one midfielder pulling from the center that are going to come help out to the wide, or sometimes they're actually pulling a player away, and that is a huge thing that's happening.
Ivan Pavella once again called into duty there. He's kind of had more to do than his predecessor, Jared Maloney, as FC London kind of came to life here in the second half, but too little too late. Good physical play there by Barmar. And Slapinski plays it over to Baker. Now maybe something here for London. Mello. Into the middle. Bequeo. Bequeo, and we're going to get 3 minutes of injury time here. Sent long.
Indicated a minimum of 3 minutes of extra time.
Oh, that could... Pavella kind of got bailed out there. He was really in no man's land, but then the shot came right into his hands. And we mentioned ProStars. The goal differential is really important to them right now as they chase a playoff spot. They might not want to turn off the gas. Barmar gets it over to Mello. Mello sends it long. Going for a run now is Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff trying to win the race. He's able to, at the very least, put pressure on ProStars to get a throw in on the opposing side of the field. Sent over to Boateng. Now in the corner. Sent into the box. Chance. Shot.
Oh.
Sanchez got a head on it. London wanted a foul. They didn't get it. And ProStars finally able to clear out with 2 minutes to go in this game. ProStars maybe trying to add one more.
Kanani.
And a good play there by Mello to cut that off in its tracks. Gomez Galliano gets over to Sanchez. And very physical over there. The problem with FC London is their subs are very small, and ProStars starters are very big. So they're kind of losing these physical battles. Chance here for Boateng. Boateng sent on, and it looks like offside was called. So Pavella's going to kill a bit of clock here. A minute left in this game. ProStars would, as much as they would like another goal for the goal differential, they would also like to get out of here without another injury. Pavella's going to send that one long. Now maybe something here for Bacuello. Bacuello to Sanchez. Sanchez looking for Bacuello again. Instead, he's going to get over to Barrowcliff. Barrowcliff's going to send it on. Not really got all of it. And a little stat pad there for Pavella. Makes another save.
See, this is really good from FC London. They're still putting the pedal down on that, putting the pedal down and not giving up against ProStars. And definitely for a rebuilding team, that is huge for them to keep pushing on.
Now ProStars coming the other way. About at the end of this one, probably one more rush for either side, if that. And that'll do it. So, FC London shows some fight, but they're outmatched by ProStars FC out of Brandon. And someone, a drum was just smashed and thrown on the field, so it looks like the FC London fans have just about had it. It's been a tough season.
You know, though, I don't think they should walk away keeping their head down on this. FC London did very well, and for a rebuilding sort of team right now, they are doing very strong, and they were actually reading their mistakes, and they were rebuilding from it. They were coming back from it, and I think it's still strong work, and FC London coming into the next seasons will do well.
Yeah, rebuilding season, but I mean, the fans always come out wanting a win, and they're not going to be able to get it today against ProStars. ProStars take it and get closer to the playoffs. 6-2 is your final. FC London Soccer on Rogers TV. We'll see you again on August 6th. FC London plays Guelph United right here in London, Ontario. Our broadcast will start at 7 p.m. We hope to see you there. August 6th, 7 p.m. and FC London going to look to make it a bit closer of a game. Going into the Guelph United game, what do you think FC London needs to change so they can get those 2 goals up early? I would say maybe a squad rotation. You think so?
Yeah, definitely with Mello and even Barrowcliff coming in, that momentum changed a lot. And maybe just some chemistry that came into there could have actually made a huge impact. And yeah, I think coming into Guelph against that game, I think just because it is a bit more of a rebuilding stage, is definitely just seeing how they can actually come back from their mistakes.
Yeah, and I would very much like to see what the other players on FC London can do. It's a young team. We don't know who's going to be the stars of tomorrow, but they're somewhere out there. And FC London as a team, as a brand really, is the premier team of this league, but they've never won League One Ontario, at least in the Voyageurs Cup era. They've had some USL success. They've had some previous success. But since they've joined League One Ontario, despite being the premier team, they haven't been able to get over the hump. So, what do you think organizationally they need to do to build up these players and put them into a spot to go back to the championship?
Honestly, it really just goes down to experience, kind of like what you're saying, just actually playing against these players, seeing how these teams, how their formations work. That can just be such a crucial thing to come into and be like, yeah, you know what, we see how this team's going to be playing against us. We know their moves. We know that they're going to try and send it over to more of this left side guy like Amari, and it just comes with experience on that side.
All right, so that'll do it here from the Hellenic Club. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of FC London Soccer on Rogers TV. For Alex, for everyone here at the broadcast, for my producers, for everyone at Rogers TV, thank you so much for joining us. I've been Joy Langdon, and we'll see you next time.
Mike, if you want, go back and listen to the previous podcast. I believe, and I probably should have checked this before, I believe it was episode 60 of our podcast. We've talked to Mike in the past, talked a little bit more about his career, you know, his background, stuff like that. Some pretty cool stories, and we'll certainly talk again, but always nice to talk some Blue Jays with Mr. Mike Wilner. If you didn't hear it there, Mike will be the first guy to tell you, do not worry, Blue Jays fans. No need to worry, right? Everything is going to be okay. The Blue Jays are going to be just fine. They're coming into a part of the year where the schedule eases up a little bit. So hopefully that'll help the Blue Jays. Anyways, that is about all the time we have here on the Smitty and Mitty Show this week. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching with us here on Rogers TV Grey Bruce and Rogers TV London. Make sure you go check out Mike Wilner's podcast, Deep Left Field, with the Toronto Star. He also writes a lot of columns there as well, so go check them out. We'll link all of his podcasts and writing on our social media pages when we post this episode, so go check it out there. That does it for us this week here on the Smitty and Mitty Show. Thank you for tuning in here on Rogers TV, and we'll see you again next week at the same time.
Here, just a common compass. I have some flagging tape on it that's bright orange just in case I drop it. It's easy to find. So with compasses, you do have to hold them straight out in your palm, nice and flat. And then this part is the one that moves around, and it has the degrees on it, so 0 to 360 degrees. And it has north, south, east, and west on the sides, but it moves, and that's because you want to line up this red arrow with the red arrow that's actually pointing to north. So if I have this red arrow, it's actually pointing to the east. So I want to move it around to point north, and that'll give me the correct way and how to tell the degrees. So at the beginning of your hike, maybe just when you get to the trail, take out your compass and take note of where you are in what direction, and then as you hike along, maybe keep it in the back of your mind of which direction you are going and everything like that. So if you do become lost, you can use a compass to hopefully find your way out. Flooding is most common in the spring when our snow melts, putting water into the creek, causing large chunks of ice to move down the creek. As the large chunks of ice move down the creek coming towards the lake, it also brings a lot of water and sediment with them. This causes the water to go up over the shoreline, causing flooding and potentially damage to property and human life. This is known as ice jamming and the most common reason for flooding in this part of Ontario. At Catfish Creek Conservation Authority, we have a water technician, and it's his job to collect data and evaluate the information based on flood forecasting and mapping. This allows him to forecast our floods so he can put out warnings to municipalities and the public for when floods could happen. We then work with local companies that help us break up the ice to make sure that the water and the ice keep moving out of the harbor to keep the flooding to a minimum. This is the trillium, which is the symbol of Ontario and our provincial plant. It is a myth that you would get fined for picking a trillium. You don't actually get fined, but it is a native wild plant, so you never really want to pick plants anyways. The trillium does come in several different colors. Traditionally, you see pictures of the white trillium, but this one was a dark red, and there are some that are yellow and some that are actually white and green. The trilliums you see really come out in April, May, early spring. They are one of the first flowers you see after winter.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi everyone, my name's Ranger M. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
Jeff here from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. So a couple years